Good morning. My name is Heidi with Perfectly Imperfect Yoga, and this is today's pause, move, release class, a gentle yoga class. But we also do get up to do sun salutations. Today, I will be demonstrating those standing next to a chair, but I will also be giving verbal cues for sun salutations moving up and down from the floor. In the next video, I will do the floor version. So one thing you need to keep in mind, both with the sun salutations and anything else we do in class, is to please just honor where you're at today, whether that is anything going on with your body, any conditions that you have or restrictions from your doctors, or anything going on emotionally as well. Stop whenever you need to, or change things up as you need to. We will be starting lying down on the floor today. You may like to have some blocks or blankets or things beside you as we move through the class to help support you however you need to be supported. Enjoy the class. We begin lying down on the floor, bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the floor, coming into a constructive rest. Just noticing the length of the spine along the floor. Releasing the entire soles of the feet into the floor. Releasing the backs of the hands into the floor, the back of the head. If it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes, or maybe just soften your gaze. Just noticing the sensations of right here, right now. Noticing your breath and trying to make it soft and smooth. Allowing anything that's not right here, right now, just float away or fall away so that you can draw your awareness into the present moment. Now take one shoulder, lift it up off the floor, tuck your shoulder blade in toward the spine and down toward your waist, and set the shoulder back down, hopefully feeling a little bit more space through the front of the shoulder. Do the same thing with the other shoulder, lifting the shoulder up, tucking the shoulder blade in toward the spine and down toward the waist, setting it back down. Noticing if you feel a little more space across the front of the torso. Then start to draw your awareness to the backs of the hands, maybe the fingernails, just noticing how they feel as they touch the floor. You may have your arms like swept back wings. You may have them straight out from your shoulders. Just find what's comfortable for you. But then we'll move that on our inhale, we'll try to keep that connection of the backs of the hands and the fingernails to the floor as much as you can. And draw little rainbows around, bringing the arms and the hands back, pointing toward the wall behind you. Perhaps the arms come all the way, so they're by the ears. Then on your exhale, drawing that same rainbow, trying to make it maybe wider, maybe reaching out a little bit more. Coming back down to your original position. Just continuing like this with your own breath. As you inhale, draw the arms around. Noticing each part of the movement through the shoulder blades, the shoulders, the arms, wherever else you feel it. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down to that original position. The next time that the arms are back by your ears or reaching toward the wall behind you, then extend your legs straight along the floor. Trying to make your body as long as it can be. Noticing a lengthening through the spine, through the sides of the torso. Then lengthen one leg, same side arm. Just making one side of your body as long as it can be. And then releasing that back to center. Then go to the other side, making that side as long as it can be. Just alternating sides, going at your own pace. Trying to find space throughout the body, expansion. Doing one more time on each side. And come back to center. Then bring the arms down by the sides, bring both knees in toward the chest, holding on to the backs of the thighs or the fronts of the shins. Just pull the thighs in toward the belly. Now compressing, right? We just lengthened and found space. We found expansion. Now we'll compress. As we compress one side, though, we may notice that the low back or throughout the spine, we lengthen a little bit, perhaps. And then we release the feet back down to the floor, knees bent. Come back into that constructive rest. If you feel like your shoulders have rounded in or shoulder blades have separated, then do that same little shoulder thing we did in the beginning. Tucking the shoulder blades in toward the spine and down toward the waist. Then we'll bring the feet together, the knees together. On the next inhale, we'll lift the right leg up and over the left. On the exhale, we'll drop the knees down to the right. You'll turn your gaze away from the knees to the left. On the inhale, come back up to center, everything back up to center. It doesn't matter how far down you go with the knees or how far you turn to look away. The most important part is drawing your awareness into those sensations. Notice the effect on the body. Moving slowly so you can really notice each part of the movement. Trying your best to coordinate that movement with your breath. Exhaling down and inhaling back up to center. A couple more times. The next time that your knees are back up to center, then disentangle the legs. Bring the right knee in toward the chest. Once again, you can keep your left leg bent or you can extend the leg along the mat. Holding onto the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Pull the thigh in toward the belly. We'll rotate that right ankle one direction. And the other. And we'll stop and bring that right knee out toward the armpit, just trying to feel that expansion through the inside of the thigh. We'll release the knee and rotate the hip so the leg goes in a circle in one direction. Could be big circles, could be little circles. And the other direction. We'll bring that knee back in toward the chest. Now we'll point the toes and flex the foot, spread the toes wide apart. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. With the foot flexed, then extend the leg. Reaching through the heel, trying to find space through the back of the leg. On the inhale, bring the knee back in toward the chest, the thigh back in toward the chest, compressing the knee joint and the hip flexors. Just moving between these two positions, trying to coordinate with your breath. The next time that the knee comes back in toward the chest, place the hand on the back of the thigh. Pull the thigh in toward the belly. You might feel a lengthening along the low back. Might feel a stretch through the glutes. Try to straighten that leg as much as you can. You can see that my leg doesn't straighten very much at all, because I've got the thigh pulled toward the belly. So just do what you can and you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch. Then we release the back of the thigh and bring that back of the thigh forward until we can straighten the leg and reach the heel away from the seat, pulling the seat and the low back down into the floor. Once again, trying to find space and length along that back of the leg. And then with that navel toward the spine, the low back into the floor, abdomen engaged, to lower the leg down slowly, slowly, all the way to the floor. And release. Once again, notice the sensations of right here, right now. Observe any changes from the last time you noticed. Try to keep your soft, smooth breath. And once again, we'll bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the floor. If you feel like you need a little more space across the collarbones, across the front of the chest, you can tuck your shoulders in. If you feel like you need a little space along the spine, you can lift your seat up and draw it away from the top of the head. Then bring your feet together, your knees together. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up and over the right. Doing the other side now. On the exhale, drop the knees down to the left, turn the gaze to the right. On the inhale, come on back up to center. Moving slowly with your breath, observing. The next time that the knees and the gaze come back up to center, then disentangle the legs. Bring the left knee in toward the chest, holding on to the front of the shin or the back of the thigh. Right leg can go straight or stay bent. We'll rotate the left ankle one direction. And the other. We'll stop and bring that left knee out toward the armpit, feeling space along the inside of the thigh. Release the knee and rotate the hips so the leg goes in a circle in one direction. And the other. We'll bring that knee back in toward the chest. Pointing the toes, flexing the foot, spreading the toes wide apart. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. With the foot flexed, then extend the leg, reaching away from the seat. On the inhale, bring the knee back in toward the chest, moving with your breath. The next time that the knee is back in toward the chest, then take the back of the thigh with the hands, pull the thigh in toward the belly. Straighten the leg as much as you can. Noticing here if you're tensing up the shoulders, the neck, and the face. And on an exhale, release those. Then release the back of the thigh, bring it forward to a place where you can straighten the leg. The heel reaching away from the seat, the low back down into the floor, navel toward the spine. And then slowly, slowly release, lay down to the floor. When it reaches the floor, then let it release. Pausing. Noticing the sensations, not rushing to the next thing, but noticing the effects of what we just did. Then we'll bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the floor. Once again, lengthen along the spine, broaden across the chest by tucking those shoulder blades in and down. Place the palms by the sides of the hips. And then start to press the low back, that lumbar curve, down into the floor, tilting the pelvis. Then arch that low back as if you were going to put your hand right underneath. Moving between these two positions like a mini cat-cow. Not lifting up off the floor, but just pressing the low back in to the floor and then arching it, noticing the movement of the pelvis. Noticing the effects on the rest of the spine. Then the next time that low back is pressed down into the floor, you might notice that the pelvis is slightly tilted up off the floor. Press down through the feet and start lifting it up more and more. Noticing as each vertebra comes up off the floor, coming into a bridge, maybe even up all the way on to the tops of the shoulders. And then release slowly down, noticing each part of the spine as it touches the floor. Nice and slow, mindful. Moving between through all of these positions. As your pelvis touches back down to the floor, then you lift it back up again. As you come up as far as feels safe for you, perhaps on the shoulders, then you start that journey back down. Noticing each part of it, each part of the spine, each sensation. The next time that you're all the way down, no rush. And just release back into the floor. Draw your knees into your chest. Maybe rock side to side, maybe rotate around in a circle. You might want to do happy baby or place the soles of the feet together and the knees out. Just noticing what it is that you need. And rolling over to one side, pausing on that side. And on your exhale, pressing down through that upper hand, pressing yourself up and coming on to your hands and knees, perhaps putting a blanket or something under your knees or anywhere that you need support. Placing the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Now we come into a full cat-cow. So on our inhale, we lift the sternum, we lift the tailbone, lengthen through the front of the torso. On the exhale, we bring the tailbone down toward the floor, the top of the head down toward the floor, lengthen through that whole spine. Try to feel each part of this movement, each part of the spine in both directions. The next time that the back is rounded up, then bring the knees out toward the edge of the mat and press your seat back toward the ankles. You can bring your head down to the floor or a block or the backs of your hands for the moment. Just try to feel expansion through the spine, maybe compression through the knees. If that's too much, find a place that's right for you, right? And if it's not already, bring the arms out toward the wall in front of you. Take both hands and bring them off to the left side of your mat. So you'll feel a stretch through the right side of the body. Still reaching back with the seat, reaching forward with the fingertips. But the part of the movement or the part of the stretch that you're interested in is that space from your seat up through the armpit, right? Just really, really noticing that spaciousness along the side of the torso, through the waist and the hips. Using anything you need to support yourself, right? If you need a blanket under your head or you need um, a block somewhere, honoring sensations in your body. And we'll bring our hands back to center, pausing for a moment. And the hands go off to the right, torso off to the right, so you feel a stretch through the left side this time. Bring the hands back to center and walk them back so that they're under the shoulders. Now bring the knees all the way in toward each other. I'm going to turn so you can see this better. Now the knees are right next to each other. Hands come out to the edge of the mat. You want your elbows in a little bit. We'll drop our hips down to one side. Inhale back up to center and exhale down to the other side. Perhaps lingering one side or the other if that feels good to you, or perhaps continuing to move. Good. The next time that you're back up to center, I'm going to switch back around. Then keep the hands out toward the edge of your mat. Bring the knees back under the hips. Draw the elbows in and the shoulders out. Tuck your toes and press yourself up into a downward facing dog. Knees can be bent, right? We're looking for length along the spine. Maybe even drop the head, find that length through the back of the neck, reaching the tailbone up away from the head. Then we'll walk our hands toward the feet toward the hands, however it works best for you. Coming into a forward fold. Once again, looking for expansion, length through the spine. On the next exhale, drop the seat down toward the height of the knees, press down through the feet. Inhale, all the way up. Bring palms together. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Coming into mountain pose, our Tadasana. Trying to feel all parts of the feet as they connect to our support, the floor. Pressing down, engaging the legs, especially the thighs. Bringing the tailbone down toward the floor, maybe tucking it a little bit so you feel engagement in the abdomen. And then lengthening up, bringing the shoulders up, back, out, and down. So you want to feel engagement from below the feet, all the way up to the armpits, and then release shoulders, neck, and face. We'll externally rotate the arms. On the inhale, bring the arms up, lengthening up. On your next exhale, bend the knees slightly and fold forward. On your next inhale, half lift, flat back. Here's where you have a choice. You can go down to the floor or use the chair. So on your next exhale, bring your hands down to the floor or to the chair and send your right leg back for a lunge. You can also use blocks here. Just noticing the sensations of right here, right now. Noticing where you feel expansion, where you feel release. If you're on the floor, you can bring your front foot back for plank. If you're by the chair, bring that back foot forward just a little bit and then bring the front foot back for plank. For everybody, it's the entire body, not just the arms holding us up, right? Nice, strong legs, strong abdomen, lifting through the sternum. Trying to find that soft, smooth breath. If you're on the floor, bring your knees down, elbows in, and belly down. If you are at the chair, like I am, then take your feet, bring them forward, press down through the feet. Come on up. Stand nice and tall. If you're on the floor, then you want to bring your elbows right under your shoulders, coming into Sphinx pose, lengthening up through the torso. Standing by the chair, we bring the hands back to the pockets, elbows back, and also lengthening through the torso. So if you're on the floor, you've already got some resistance here in the belly, so you're not going to push the belly forward. So if you're standing, then you want to bring your seat back into your hands into your seat to really engage, and then lengthen it. Then everyone on the next exhale, release down, bring the hands out, elbows in. If you're on the floor, tuck the toes, and we step back into downward facing dog. If it feels safe, Lift that right leg up toward the ceiling, trying to feel length through the front of the body. Then everyone, and whether you have your leg up or not, bring that leg on through for a lunge. That right leg is forward. Our back foot comes forward for forward fold. On the next exhale, we bring the seat down toward the level of knees, press down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Coming into mountain pose, trying to find that strength up to the armpits. Release, shoulders and above. Externally rotate the arms. On the inhale, bring the arms up. On your next exhale, bend the knees slightly and fold forward. On your next inhale, half lift, flat back. On your next exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, the blocks, or a chair, and send your left leg back for a lunge. If you're on the floor, bring your front foot back for plank. Standing, bring your back foot forward just a little bit. Front foot back. Coming into plank. On the floor, knees down, elbows in, and belly down. You can bring your elbows under the shoulders to come into Sphinx pose. On the chair, step forward, press down through the feet, come on up. Hands on pockets, elbows back, engaging the abdomen. Everyone is lengthening through the front of the torso and hopefully broadening across the collarbones as well, as much as you can. On your next exhale, release the hands down and out. Elbows in. If you're on the floor, tuck your toes. Everyone steps back into downward facing dog. If it feels safe, you can lift the left leg up. Then everyone brings their left leg on through for a lunge. Back foot forward for forward fold. On your next exhale, bring the seat down toward the level of the knees. Press down through the feet. Inhale. All the way up, reaching up with the fingers, reaching down through the bottoms of the feet. Then exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into mountain pose. Finding both expansion, strength, and don't forget the release, shoulders, neck, and face. We'll step our feet a little bit wide or a lot wide. Turning out, opening up through the hips on both sides. Bending the knees slightly. Still lengthening up, still tucking that tailbone so we have a nice strong abdomen. We bring the arms out. We'll rotate them on the inhale. Bring the arms up, palms together. On the exhale, rotate the arms and bring the hands down. Good. Externally rotate the arms. Inhale. Trying to do these internal and external rotations all the way up to the shoulders. Still keeping this soft, smooth breath. The next time that the arms come down, and straighten the legs. Bring them so that they're just about shoulder width apart. Toes can be forward or toes can be out, but wherever they are, you want the knees to track over those middle toes. So we want them going the same direction. We'll move down into a yogi squat. So bringing the arms up, palms together down to heart center, coming down into wherever your yogi squat is. That could be right here, right? You can already feel engagement here and sort of bending the knees, the ankles, the hips. You might go down farther and stop here, or go to here. It requires everything to cooperate, right? So find that place where your whole body cooperates with this movement. Soft, smooth breath. Then on your next exhale, release yourself down to the floor, however it feels safe. We'll come back onto our back in constructive rest. Lengthening the spine along the floor, bringing the shoulder blades in and down so we broaden across the collarbones. Finding the arms in a comfortable place, releasing the backs of the hands, the backs of the arms and elbows into the floor. Just pausing to notice the breath, the sensations in the body. So this next one can be sometimes a little confusing. So I'm going to sit up and show you how it looks seated, but we're doing it lying down, okay? So just watch for a moment. So in general, what we're trying to do is to do this, but we'll be lying down so our back is supported and you don't have to go this deep. You can grab on, when we're lying down, you can grab onto your ankles or your knees or your shins, wherever it reaches best. But this is kind of what we're trying to do. So when I say knees are going out, see my knees are pointing in different directions, my feet are pointing in different directions. So it's not just a figure four. So we'll start kind of like we did before, right? We lift that right leg up and over the left. And then we're going to bring the knees in toward the chest. And then this is where that turning out happens. So the feet will turn out, the knees will turn out, and you'll grab onto wherever you can reach. My arms are short, so that's like the knees and the tops of the shins. You just pull in, you might feel a stretch through the glutes. And I'm also feeling the stretch to the bottoms of my feet right now. So just notice where you feel it, right? Where you don't want to feel it is in the shoulders, neck, and the face, right? You don't want to feel it in your breath, grasping, right? You want a soft, smooth breath. So perhaps you're like this, or perhaps you use a block. And we'll release the legs down. We'll disentangle them, shake them out a little bit or move them side to side, just noticing what you need. Maybe shaking them one at a time or shaking them side to side with the feet on the floor, just noticing what you need. And then we'll move to the other side. So now that left leg goes up and over the right. We pull the knees in toward the chest and those feet and knees go out. You can grab on to wherever it is that works for you. You can do the same thing with your foot on the floor, so you're not holding up. You can put a block under one of the feet. All right. Notice what works for you today. Always trying to keep that soft, smooth breath, that balance of effort and ease. The ease being the shoulders, neck, and the face. And release down to the floor. Same thing, you can shake it out in one way or another, maybe even putting both legs up and shaking like this, right? Just noticing what's right for you. And then meeting back into our constructive rest. You can bring your arms straight out from the shoulders, make sure those shoulder blades are tucked. We'll just start to move the knees side to side like windshield wipers. Moving your feet maybe out or maybe in right next to each other, noticing where the width is the best for you. And the next time that the knees are down to the right, you can allow them to stay there. This is where you might, one of the places you might want some support, right? Because we don't want to be engaging and holding them up. We want to be releasing into this, moving towards Shavasana. So more and more release. So perhaps a blanket in between the legs or under the knees, or maybe a block. Just noticing what your body needs. You can look away from the knees. And bring everything back up to center. Drop the knees down to the left and the gaze to the right. And determine what support you need on this side. Bring everything back up to center. Extend one leg out in front of you along the mat, then the other, allowing them to release from the hips, allowing the arms to release from the shoulders. Your entire body sinking into its support, the floor. perhaps closing your eyes or softening your gaze, allowing your body to take back control of the breath so that the only thing you need to do is to allow yourself to be in the right here, right now. It may take some effort drawing your awareness back as it tries to wander through space and time. But that's completely normal. So just keep gently drawing it back. Trying to draw it deeper into that space within you that's quiet and calm. And gently start to draw your awareness back outward. Just enough to notice the sensations in your body. Begin to invite movement back into the body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, moving wrists and ankles. Noticing what your body needs. Perhaps it's a little more twisting. Perhaps it's a big stretch. Or maybe it's squeezing inward. It could be continuing to lie still. And that's fine too. Giving your body what it is that it needs. And roll over to one side. Pausing, not rushing, just gently coming back into the space around you. On your next exhale, press yourself up into a seated position. Externally rotating the arms. On the inhale, bring the arms up. On the exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. And I hope through the rest of the week, the rest of your day, you can find yourself just noticing the sensations of the right here, right now. Allowing yourself and your awareness to move to that space within you that's calm and quiet. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.